Hey all, Miranda here. On the years I've been able to attend Adepticon, I've tried to gather footage of their armies on parade. I was hoping to have my 2019 coverage out in time for the convention this year. Unfortunately, Adepticon is Adepticon. So this video will be more of a reminder of how awesome Adepticon is by showing the 2019 armies on parade and helping us to look forward to next year. Make sure to give the video a thumbs up and show your love for these great teams.
All right, I have Brian and Nick from Rigum Aratus.
Nailed it.
Awesome.
Nailed it.
So what's going on with your display board?
So, this year we're doing the Fall of Damnos. Fall of Damnos, iconic battle between the Ultramarines and the Necrons on the planet of Damnos. A mining planet that the miners dug a little too deeply and awoken a tomb world.
Oh.
And then the planet was overrun by Necrons. Captain Cato Sicarius and the second company of Ultramarines descended to the planet, tried to bail them out, killed a lot of Necrons, but in the end had to take a Pyrrhic victory and kind of pull back out. So
Bravely ran away.
a bit. The discretion is sometimes the better part of valor.
That's fair, that's fair.
Also, I usually paint like the Imperial side, so if you see anything that's an Ultramarine, that's me. Everything else is one of our other teammates who is absent at the moment.
Yes.
Oh yeah, do you want to shout out to the rest of your team?
Sure, yeah. So Dan Biella of Blood Art Studios is the painter and converter for all of the Necron forces that are displayed. And then our other teammate is Joshua Nellis.
So what's your favorite part of the board then? Do you have a favorite portion or aspect of it?
If I'm being fair, the icicles were a really satisfying part to just get right, and already I've had 6 or 7 people ask me how they were done. So it's super minor, but it's one of those details that kind of pulls the whole thing together.
That's a fair point.
The other part was we've got a lot of little vignettes from different battles that happen, duels in the story. And if you look across the board, you've got Captain Sicarius versus the Stormcaller. You've got Chief Librarian Tigurius versus the Voidcaller. And some of those little vignettes, I think, really bring the whole board together.
I hear you guys have a YouTube channel.
We do.
Yes,
Team-
Rigum Aratus.
Team Rigum Aratus.
REGUMAURATIS.
ATIS.
Thank you.
Awesome. Well, I think during this interview alone, you've gotten more cat calls than I've heard all year. So good job on the outfit. Thank you, gentlemen, so much for taking the
Thanks,
time.
guys.
Thank you very much.
Appreciate it.
And now we have JF from Team Quebec. How are you doing tonight?
I'm doing good, a bit tired, but otherwise I think I'm in good spirits.
Oh yeah, and who do we have as far as your team?
This is my friend Eric, who's been part of the team since the very beginning. Eric is, I would like to say you're a vehicle and a terrain specialist.
Okay, that's a good way to describe me. Yeah, I agree.
Right, you're also the only good player on our team right now.
Okay.
The only one who knows how to play the actual game.
Fair enough. What about the rest of your team? Where are they all off to?
One of them crashed, went back to his hotel room across the street, and the other one I think is still having dinner up in the hotel lobby.
11 o'clock at night dinner. That's what happens at Adepticon. It's just how it works.
It's perfectly normal. I'm trying to remember when we actually came up with the idea, but we wanted to, the Gene Seer cults were sort of making a comeback. We knew that they were getting a new codex fairly soon, and we're thinking what we love to do, and a lot of the armies that we've made in the past, it's take two different armies with usually incompatible or weirdly compatible themes and mix them together. So we decided to do a Gene Seer cult, spelled and spoken as an orc, and go run with that. So we made a list that's mostly orcs and Tyranids and Gene Stealers, but everything is converted to convey that this is a cult of all orcs that are being corrupted to the Gene Stealers.
Nice, nice.
But we give a lot of thought to our team because we already decided what we'll do next year. And generally speaking, when we are leaving the Adepticon, we already start to work on our next project. That's the way it is.
Yeah, it's basically been a tradition for us since the very first year that we've done this. When we decided, we're coming back, this is a lot of fun, we went to our sort of victory dinner back then it was a recent bar at the previous location, and we were immediately just brainstorming, and that was the best. Of all of the Adepticon, brainstorming at the end of the event was probably the coolest part for us because it's what we like to do, being creative about it.
But generally speaking, it's I will say 3 to 6 months, depending of the complexity of it, and certainly depending of the team that we choose. And I would say overall 3 to 6 months.
I think there's two elements of the board that are really my favorite. One of them is that the new orcs that came out recently have a unit called the Rocket Truck Squig Buggy, which is basically it's a small buggy that uses squigs as ammunition. And to make it part of our Tyranid theme, we changed everything that was squig into rippers, which are kind of like the equivalent of these small gribbly creatures from Tyranids. And converting 3 of these was a lot of fun, a lot of trouble, but the results really spoke for themselves. And the second one for me is we decided that a lot of the orcs would use Tyranid creatures sort of as mounts and beasts of burden. And we wanted to have a flyer, a burner bomber from the orcs, but instead of using the typical plain chassis, we used a Tyranid harpy and have just strapped some bombs on it, strapped a turret underneath, have an orc riding it, pulling some reins. He's got his little Gretchen buddy on his shoulder, and they just look like they're going on adventures and having a good time.
Yeah, it's like a children's book in there, right?
Yeah, sure,
pretty much.
but with murder.
Jeff? Eric, thank you guys so much for taking the time.
Thank you.
Absolutely.
Thank you.
Our pleasure.
All right, next we have Alex from Gateway Gamers. Alex, how are you doing tonight?
I'm good. We have a pretty good record and a great display board that got in the hall.
Yeah, you got some good pictures of it. Who's the rest of your team here?
So Alex is me, and then we got Avery, he's our painter. Mike, he helps out with all the display board stuff. And we got Patrick, who is great for everything else.
He's our team spirit.
And make sure everyone has fun.
Ours is during the second great Sphere Expanse, where the Tau finally meet the Tyranids. They originally thought like the Space Marines were like the worst thing they've ever met, and then finally like the Nids were like a huge rude awakening for them. And they used guerrilla tactics, sacrificing planets just to delay time in order to buy enough time to push back the Tyranid force. And ours is where their final stand on the last planet to defend the home Tau planet. So Shiag Drag.
From start to finish, this army and board took 2 weeks.
Yes.
Might be a record.
Started on March 10th.
And the board I found out I was making on Monday?
On Tuesday.
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 Yes, so Tuesday night I started working on the board in my garage
Yes, he finished painting at 3 a.m.
this morning. Yep.
And then boom, right into team tournament.
Yep.
Ready to go.
Ready to go.
That's fantastic. Do you have a favorite element? I mean, everything seems to have come together in a rush, so I don't know if it was all a blur to you, but do you have a favorite portion of your board for any of you?
I think we're very lucky that great stuff from Home Depot worked out the way it was planned because that was the win to speed up the process.
Your favorite aspect was green stuff. It was great stuff.
Yeah.
Okay.
Otherwise, we had no idea what we were going to do for a display board.
Awesome. Well, guys, thank you so much for taking the time. Good luck in the rest of the tournament.
Thank you.
Woo! And we have Eric from Team One Punch. How are you doing tonight?
Absolutely great. How you doing?
Grand, fantastic. Who is your team here?
Well, I got Gab, Larry, who is also the visionary, and Chris.
A mustache like that, I would say you are a visionary.
Yeah, he's pretty awesome.
Tell me a little bit about your board. What's the story? What's going on?
It's a Diga Knobs. It's basically a supplement from way back when that they had orcs and people that wanted to beat orcs. And so the whole board is a bunch of humans that are dressed like orcs. Fair enough. And that's where they first introduced Necrons. So we try to pull a lot of Necron pieces here and there and make it look cool.
We kind of nailed down the concept in November. I think. Yeah, around November. We knew we wanted to play orcs because we knew they were coming out soon. So we were thinking differently with this. We wanted something original. We're like, how can we do orcs original? Everyone does Mad Max references. We wanted to do something new. So we had a lot of success with last year's army when we did Necromunda stuff. So we wanted to do the same kind of a thing with the counts as list. But without touching Necromunda again. So we decided to pick out some more obscure lore that's legit 40K stuff, but just really obscure and only OG nerds would really pick up on.
Does anything in particular stand out as a
Well,
favorite
there's a trunk
element?
chick on the back of the truck in one of them. That happened. It's pretty cool. Yeah, it's pretty cool.
One word, 4 letters, fluo. That's how.
A lot of fluorescent.
As the serious guy in the team, I would describe our board as fluorescent and serious.
You can't use that.
Yes, you can. I was serious and not saying anything funny.
Okay, sure.
Sure. So the little details.
Sure, little details.
Okay, excellent. Well, I mean, that's really kind of all I have for you guys, and the rest of it will be pretty footage of your stuff.
I guess that'll work.
Yeah.
Sure.
Do you have anything you want to plug here? I hear there's a gaming club.
Sure. This is our gaming club in Montreal.
Gabriel is your...
Montreal. Sure, Gabe.
They wish I was here
So,
today,
if we want to go down that road, he is definitely a gaming club himself, yes.
Okay, well...
You can do whatever the hell you want to. Go ahead.
No, it's good. We're good. Have a great rest of your night and enjoy the rest of the con, and good luck in the tournament.
You too.
Thank you. So, I have got Kelsey here from Team Wobbly Modelers. How are you doing today, Kelsey?
I'm doing great.
Who's your team here?
The Wobbly Modelers. This is on my right is Max Dubois. On my left, Josh Kinder, and our missing person is Austin Wingfield.
Shining by that.
That's
Poor
right.
Austin, missing out. Anyway, tell me a little bit about your board.
Our board is actually it's kind of a knockoff of Helm's Deep and the Two Towers, except everything's been replaced with Tyranids and Tau that's painted to match Deadpool, headed up by Deadpool himself.
And so you've got these little pamphlets here. What's going on here?
Well, basically, because Deadpool is a comic, we made my friend made these little pamphlets here. It's a little comic of Deadpool, and every pamphlet has our player, our army list, and a little story, which is totally not a ripoff of the Lord of the Rings. And we didn't even bother to change much of names. Can we read this part? Try to get it.
Oh my goodness.
And so we tried to capture the essence of everyone. So Austin, who's not here right now, is a tool in charge. He's pretty much the boss of the Wobbly Maulers. If you send us an email, you'll talk to Austin, and then we'll give you a prize. And the prize basically gets you Kinder. Kinder is slave painter. Kinder does all the work.
Exactly what you think it sounds like.
Fair enough. So you guys do commission painting?
Yes.
Just to clarify.
Yeah. In case that was not like a good sales pitch, I learned English from the internet. Internet is not polite.
Oh no.
And my name is Max. They call me Jacques because I'm French. This is all that we're going to say about this. And
oh yes.
They unfold. Oh yeah, well the back is glorious, obviously. Because
some of that going on there.
Yeah, it's glorious.
And
obviously my list is French.
Mostly nudes.
And then we have Kelsey, who's our captain today because of Liz's decision. He's not really a captain, but he's the last and least, according to this pamphlet.
Can't win them all.
So pamphlet creation, list building, construction. How long did this whole board take you guys?
It was about a month and a half, 2 months.
Since January 1. 4 months.
Okay.
The board was like a big effort. Basically, I've spent 4 months harassing Kinder and telling him everything he did was not good enough until we got to this stage. I was really hoping we made the showcase because otherwise I would have spent 4 months trash talking him and getting absolutely nothing in return. We would probably not be friends anymore. So I'm really glad that this all paid off.
It's true. I more hate them than I don't. So
That's usually not the sign of being friends anymore.
right.
Don't
But it worked out for us, so it's okay.
Oh, well, good. Well, thank you guys so much. So go ahead and tell me what your commission painting service is called again.
We're the Wobbly Modelers. You can find us on Facebook and Instagram. Primarily Facebook. That's the one that we update the most often.
Fair enough. All right. Well, cool. Thank you, gentlemen.
Thank you.
Thank you.
And now I have got Nikhil here from the team Probably Not Sober. We're not going to actually ask that question during this interview, however. How are you doing today, Nikhil?
I'm good.
Tell me, well, let's introduce your team, actually.
All right, cool. I got Chris Mazon here, James Clifford, and Ian Lavera. I'm sorry, Lavera.
Ian, right? So I see you've got this lovely outfit going on. What is going on here?
That's the under part of the outfit. I'm just working with the display right now, so that's why I'm in full costume. But most of the time, we're all in full garb.
Like when you're playing?
Yeah.
Oh wow. Okay.
Yeah.
Well, tell me a little bit about what's going on this display board.
Okay, so basically we have we're playing Tau, who right now in the fluff are fighting on the other side of the Namar Atoll. Yeah. So basically they're fighting against Death Guard, keeping them off the Startide Nexus, which is how they could potentially get back to the Tau homeworld. So what we've done is we've made a museum display showing how great the Tau are, holding everybody back, no problems. You know, there's these big guys, but you know, we got
minor problems.
So yeah. The scratch wheel on that Manta was, oh my god, it's getting curves and getting stuff done.
Yeah, I'm an orc player, so like right angles and weird like hard edges are kind of my wheelhouse, and doing something with curves like a Manta was my first time trying it. It was a lot of work.
Fair enough. Do any of you guys have a Manta normally?
No. He's not rich. Someone told him he couldn't do it, and he was like, "I have to do it." Now I have to do it. Yeah.
Fair enough. So you're just gonna make this a playable model next year, right?
Sure. If they let us,
You have a beautiful, gorgeous display board. I love that Nurdle Titan going on there.
Oh yeah.
That's our other favorite part.
That's the other favorite part.
There's this little door that has a little nurgling kicking it open. That's like our favorite part of that.
Does it have the vignettes then happening?
Yeah.
Little pieces of the story all over?
The place.
There's 3 greater demons on the top in a hot tub, chilling, overwatching the entire battle. If you look in it.
Sounds appropriate. Awesome. Well, again, thank you guys. Team probably not sober, definitely sober for the purpose of this interview.
Have a great Adepticon. Yeah, good.
Thank you. All right, and I have got Carl here from Team Daka Daka.
Yes.
Daka.
Just Daka Daka.
How are you today?
I am doing fantastic.
And who is your team here today? Who are all these fun folks?
Well, I am Big Mac Carl, the creator of our Gargant. This is Grot Shane. He's the littlest of us. That's why he's the Grot Shane.
All the Grot work.
And Weird Boy Dan, he's a little on the weird side. And that is War Boss Jim because he's big and burly. And he was the best.
And he was the best. Fantastic. Well, tell me a little bit about what is going on your board.
On our board, for this year, we decided to build a Gargant. So it's about 4'10". And on the board, as far as theme goes, we have our Bad Moons, which are the creators of the Gargant.
Okay.
And we built it, and we hired these lovely evil sons to haul around all our scrap metal with all their trucks. So their trucks just drag all the scrap metal we need to build up the big giant Gargant.
Sounds like a fair arrangement.
No, we're not allowed in it. Yeah, they're not allowed in the Gargant. They're not special enough. They just get to drop the stuff up by the Gargant, and the Big Mac builds it for them. I would estimate total time about 200 to 300 man hours. My favorite part is how the base is inset into the road, and the road lines all match up with the bases. I don't know if you noticed that when we were looking at it, but it's a subtle detail. We're really proud of it. It was by far the most annoying part, because every orc, all 160 or so of them, that were on the road, had to be numbered and placed on where they go. Oh yeah,
Dave the Gargant.
So it's Dave the Gargant. So hashtag Dave the Gargant.
So I have Matt here with, what's your team?
Team PopGoesTheMonkey.com.
PopGoesTheMonkey.com. Now you're the owner of a store?
I am the owner and designer of Pop Goes the Monkey, a store that's on Shapeways.
Oh, nice. Yeah, okay, very cool. So who we got here for your team?
All right, I have 2 of my good buddies from high school, Dwayne Weaver and Luke Slothauer. We've been friends since mid-'80s.
Nice.
And new addition to the team is Andrew Whitaker, is a buddy of Luke's who just moved into Atlanta, and he's been a great addition to the team.
I wasn't born when they were in high school.
No.
I hear you're the competitive one.
Yes, I'm the beat stick ringer guy they brought in because they were tired of getting beat up. So
Yeah, I will be the first to admit I'm not a great player.
Fair enough. Well, tell me a little bit about what's going on the board.
All right. Well, we decided we wanted to make a crowd favorite, and it's nothing better than the squats. I think a lot of people have been always wanting to see the squats come back. Anybody who likes any of the fantasy dwarf models and that kind of stuff, the Caradon Overlords came out and they were almost screaming for a steampunk rendition of the squat army. So we kind of used that when we decided we were going to do guard. There's a lot of great elements. I mean, I think the part I really like the most is the vapor that comes out of the different parts of the tunnel that kind of give it a little bit of an eerie look.
it's got the lighting, the purple lights. That's all just colored resin with actual lights behind it, so it radiates out into the cavern underneath, all purple lights and stuff. It's all 3D printed stuff from Shapeways, incredible. Because the Caradon Overlords are fantasy models, and we needed to make them 40K. Yeah. So he came up with these incredible design pieces, custom shoulder pads, custom las rifles. We've got catechins and destroyers. We needed all different varieties of weapons to reflect those regimental traits. And then we had to upgrade all the bits as well. So.
Well, it's shaped up to look absolutely fantastic, guys. Thank you so much. Give me the name of your shop again.
It's popgoesthemonkey.com. And like I said, I'm on Facebook, Instagram, Patreon. And one great thing, if you don't mind me plugging this, is that all the bits that we have on our
on your board,
on the board in our army are actually in my store now for any of my Patreon subscribers. And on May 1st, then they'll be open to the general public. So
fantastic. Well, thank you, gentlemen, so much for taking the time.
Thank you very much.
Next up, we have Dominic with Team Northern Defenders. How are you tonight?
Great, in fact.
Doing well?
Yes,
Who's your team here?
So I have Vince here, who has been with me for the last 3 years.
Yeah.
And Ben with the newbie in the team right now.
Benjamin the newbie. That's what they call you, right?
The rookie.
The rookie.
Rookie. Okay.
So, tell me a little bit about what is going on your board this year. What is the theme and what's the story?
So the model we use mostly are the Solar Auxilia from Forge World.
Okay.
So they are like 30K models. So, and they are with the Custodes. So what we decided for the background is to start with that. They were sent by the Emperor to retrieve an artifact lost in space for 10,000 years. And go back on the planet. They were supposed to go find that artifact, get there, and for the first time they encounter Demon of Corn. And that's why on the display we see like all the crack with the lava and the demons coming up from downstairs to attack them. So a year.
A full year.
The day we left last year, we started to plan, train, do everything. And we just finished like this morning.
I mean, if it wasn't for the last minute. Do you have any favorite elements of it or a particular thing that was your favorite part to work on for any of you?
I really like the auras, which are some Forge World tanks. Those were amazing to paint. I really like them, for you guys.
Yeah, the guards were cool to do. The Solar Auxilia rifle section that we play them as guards, the infantry. So they were pretty cool. We added like custom shoulder pads and yeah.
Nice.
This year we are sponsored by Scale 75, the Enclave, which is Josh Debt services, I think, to help people play 40K. We also have BV Hobby, who is a local gaming shop. Gravity Dice. So yes.
Is it everything else on the back of your shirt?
Everything is on the back.
So the Enclave, Scale 75, Gravity Dice, and by BV Hobby. Okay, that's yours. Well done. Thank you guys. I appreciate you taking the time, and you have a beautiful board. Good luck in the tournament and all the judging. So thanks.
Thanks so much.
All right, and you may recognize these folks from last year. We have Lords of the North. Andrew, your team captain here. How are you doing tonight?
I'm doing great. How are you?
Doing great. I know it's after midnight here, stuff getting torn down, and there's been a lot of alcohol, so we'll make this short and sweet. Tell us a little bit about the board, or who should tell us about the board.
I will not do it justice. This is Peter Soderbergh. He will talk about it.
Oh, and real quick, because I forgot last time too, who's the rest of your team?
So we've got Braden Cole, we've got our Imperial Guard player, we've got Travis, our other Imperial Guard player, we've got Andrew for Adepticon Mechanicus, and then Peter Soderbergh, Space Wolf through and through. But yeah, our theme this year was Warzone Vigilist, which is the campaign that's going on right now for Warhammer 40,000. And yeah, so it's kind of it's a linchpin system. It's one of those. It's a desert planet, and on the southern hemisphere of the planet, there's a big glacial mass that's the source of the only water on the planet. And
very cool.
yeah, so the Mechanicum's mining the ice from the planet. They melt it down, provide it all the water out. The orcs, they don't really care about the water, but they've got all the best shiny bits on that area. So we're getting assaulted. Yep. So we got a big force field. Hopefully it holds out, but according to the Inquisition, those fields can't fail, but they're flickering very, very much. So I think first week of December was when Vigilus came out, and we started the concept a little bit before then. So it was a lot of testing on some of the different methods on how we were going to accomplish some of those specs. But I think probably all said and done, from actually like kind of cutting and painting, we had probably had a little over a month of building and about a month painting. We learned from last year where I think I tried to get it all done in a month, and it was absolutely horrendous. So
really beautiful.
we tried to double the time, but then we also doubled the scope, I think, too. So it was a little harsh, but we got it done.
I would say it's each of the Easter eggs that are involved. As you look at the board, you can find all these individual elements that have to do with Calyx Bane. And so if you look at it, you can find some Drukhari, you can find some Aldari, and just keep looking and you can find more and more.
I really enjoy, having such a great platform to put all of our models on and display our models, but the idea is the whole thing, it all brings it together, and I think all of the models on the base, which is incredible, brings everything out, and it makes the models stand out, it makes the models look great, and the models make the base look great, and that force field just ties it all together, and it just makes that sucks you in, and then you kind of you get closer and you get closer and you recognize the detail here and the detail there, and then
tells a story.
And it tells the story, and I think that's the most fun part about it. I think it's great.
What about you, Peter?
Yeah, I mean, hopefully we told the story visually, and hopefully you look at it, and fans of Warhammer 40,000 that have been following the current lore can kind of see that it's Vigilus, and we've been huge fans of the book. We think it's super cool. The shield was the hardest part, so seeing that turn out was absolutely wonderful. I think the Killicans in the front that are stomping through, that was possibly one of my favorite things to pull off.
I like the Grot.
Just because it was so sloppy. It was one of the last things that I did, and I just needed to just really make it gory, sticky, and just disgusting. So it was just kind of, yeah. So that was probably one of my favorite parts, though. So yeah, we're on Facebook. We're the Lords of the North. We're going to try and increase our presence a little bit, just because we had a lot of fun here, and we're meeting some really cool people.
Here I have Christopher with Team Du Bois. How are you doing tonight?
Very good. Very yourself?
Pretty good. Hanging in there. Who is the rest of your team here?
Andy. We got Eric. Sean. and Smithgall. Yeah, the old guy. I'm so used to calling him derogatory names, I forget.
It's normally a 4-man tournament, so you have 5. You're cheating because orcs can't count. Tell me a little bit about your board, your beautiful, super tall board. I'm really curious how you got it in here.
It comes apart in about 10 pieces, 8 pieces. 8 pieces, yeah. It's all pink insulation foam, and a lot of stuff from Home Depot. We made a Tyranid ship 4 or 5 years ago, and ever since then, people keep on busting our chops. They're like, "Where's the ship? Where's the ship? Where's the ship?" So we finally built another ship. And it got a little bigger and more extreme than I anticipated.
What's the story that's happening on this board?
The idea was that near the tail end of the 41st millennium, Fenris is attacked, the entire system is attacked by forces of chaos. And Ragnar Blackmane, after destroying the Changeling with the Dark Angels, he's trying to pool as much sources as he can to bring to Fenris to defend the Fang, while other Wolf Lords are fighting all over the rest of the system. Logan Grimnar, the Wolf Lord, is missing, so we just don't know really what's going on. So we have all kinds of different named characters.
And how long did this board take to create, complete, from concept to finish?
At least 3 months. 3 months? Yeah. Yeah, my wife has hated me for 3 months.
That's the gauge for how long the project takes.
Yeah,
A lot longer than that, Chris.
3 months. Yeah, she hated me for longer than that, but yeah, 3 months she hasn't seen me.
So obviously the ship is an exceptionally impressive portion of the board. Do you have any other parts of it, or is that your favorite part of the board?
The analyst. So if you look at the Space Wolf Fluff, there's this gigantic disc that's got 13 sections in it, and that's where all the major decisions in the chapter are already always made. And it's got all the different Wolf Lords at the current point, their Wolf Lord symbol, and the one is blank for the missing 13th company that went missing at the end of the Horus Heresy.
Oh, okay.
So that thing is gigantic as well. He did that as well.
Yeah, we made a big the mountain in the middle with the star, the wolf that walks among the stars in it.
Yeah.
And supposedly that faces at whoever's in charge at the time. And the thought is, if we actually put it on a rotating platform, so it does pivot. So all the champions would get together when a new leader's established, grab the mountain and move it, and actually turn it to face to whatever legion is in charge now. And it does move. You just walk up to it and it spins. So.
Well, enjoy the rest of your con. Good luck in the tournament. Thank you.
Thank you. Thanks a lot.
Who's your team here?
We're Chicago Kamikazes.
But who is your team?
Oh, Elliot, Mitch, and Daniel from Sweden.
Tell me a little bit about the story going on your board.
Our board is The Beast Arises. So our board is about a series of 12 stories that Games Workshop published about an orc war boss who was so large that he was able to unite all the clans and basically teleport a death moon in front of Terra and almost eradicated the entire Imperium. And the only way that they stopped it is they basically suicided Imperial ships into the moon, basically. We all worked together to make 5 beast models, and then our 6th beast model is actually a large orc buff skull on the side. The 12th book is called The Beheading, where they cut off the beast's head, so it's very fitting. And in addition to having that as our 6th beast, which is in the stories, there's 6 of them, and it's also going to be a trophy for our friend. So Daniel is he's a first time Chicago Kamikaze. He's from Sweden, and he's a dear friend of mine for a long time, and he's backfilling for one of our dear friends, Tony Malave, who had open heart surgery 3 weeks ago.
Oh my God.
And was not able to make Adepticon. So that's going to be his award. There's a little heart on it that says the biggest heart in 40K for Tony.
You guys are so sweet.
Yeah, he's probably...
He's the heart and soul of our team.
Yeah, he's the heart and soul of our group for sure.
How long did this whole thing take you?
Actually, to be honest, that whole board was black on Wednesday at 6:00 p.m. There wasn't one piece of paint on the entire board. And I would say about 50% of the models on the board were also just primed. On Wednesday at 6:00 p.m.
It was a busy week.
When we left when you left for drinks. And I painted probably 72 hours straight.
But you know what they say, if it wasn't for the last minute, nothing would get done.
Yeah, true.
Well, thank you guys so much for taking the time to interview. I hope you guys are doing well in the tournament.
Yeah, thank you.
And we'll see you hopefully next year, because you guys won last year, right?
We did win last year, yeah. We had Solar Macarius.
They're kind of a big deal.
No.
So, thank you guys.
Thank you.
Those dioramas are pretty cool, right? I mean, some very impressive things. So that's what we were able to record at Adepticon for the Armies on Parade for the 40K team tournament. But before we go, there was one other Armies on Parade item that I wanted to show off to you guys. It's not part of the 40K Armies on Parade, but Adepticon had actually allowed other games, non-40K, to participate as well. So this has a special place in my heart as one of my favorites, because it was one guy putting this all together himself in a non-competitive display for Armies on Parade. So give it some love. It's also for War Machine, so you know it's near and dear to me a bit. But I did want to just let you guys know, because it's not as huge and fancy as all of the 40K team tournament groups. But again, keep in mind, this is one person doing it non-competitively, and I think he did a really great job. So check it out.
So I have got Chris here, who submitted to Armies on Parade, and for the first time in Adepticon history, they allowed other than 40K stuff to be submitted. And Chris here has a gorgeous Grimkin board. Why don't you tell me a little bit about it?
So it's graveyard themed. It's very, drab. It has lots of purples and blues, very muted tones. You can see there's a backdrop with a big moon in the background, kind of overcasting over all the models.
Brings home that nice Grimkin feel.
Exactly. Yeah. So the models themselves, they follow that same motif of purples and muted tones. There's some pops of bright blue in there. Brings out some of the details. Otherwise, I think it all came together fairly well. To me, it looks really sharp, so I'm happy with it. The models themselves to paint and build have been amazing. They're so cool. They're so intricate. There's some conversion work in my army, so getting that work in was really neat.
Do you have what kind of stuff did you convert?
So you can see on some of the Skinnamones with the guys with the big swords, some of their arms are repositioned, so they're not all standing in the same static pose.
Okay.
Same thing with the guys holding the cages. All of the cages you can kind of bust it up and put in different poses. You can see all of my bases have some extra levels to them, and they've added zombie hands and skeletons to them. So just adding a little bit more of that graveyard kind of character to it. So,
fair enough.
Yeah.
Well, good. Chris, thank you so much for taking the time. I'm really glad you submitted. You'll be submitting in future years, yeah, probably?
I will be back again, and I'll be submitting again.